Oh, I got a full bus of guests here today. I thought that fits well with the show that you guys are doing at the Ghostlight, and that is Violet. And that's a great performance, a great musical that we look forward to checking out at the Ghostlight in Benton Harbor. I've got, oh man, I've got a lot of people. I've got Cindy, I've got Seamus, I've got Paige, I've got Richard, I've got Emily, and I've got the director, Paul Mow, is joining me. Paul, let's talk first about this show. Pretty good size cast from what it looks like.
Yeah, we've got 19 or 20, depending on who's in, who's out. We've had some COVID struggles, but everybody's testing negative going into last night. So we're feeling good about opening night tomorrow night.
How long have you guys been working on this show?
At least 6 weeks, but some folks even longer when they've been cast. Some people got thrown into their role a couple of days ago, but I think for the most part, we've most of us been working on it for about at least a month.
So give me a little brief synopsis of this musical, because it sounds like a great story and one we look forward to checking out.
Yeah, so Violet is a fantastic musical written by Janine Tesori with a book by Brian Crawley. And it tells the story of a young white rural girl from rural North Carolina who, when she was a child, was hit in the face by an axe blade.
Oh, wow.
And so she has a facial disfigurement and a scar that you actually don't see in the show. It's a plot point, but it would be too difficult to go back and forth between like having her with makeup, having her not. So
Sure.
She talks about it all the time. But because of this facial disfigurement, she believes that if she can just get that scar healed up, that she could be famous and go to Hollywood and be a Hollywood star, like all the ones she reads in the Life magazines and things like that. So she decides in her about 21st or 22nd year of life on this earth that she's going to get on a bus in rural North Carolina and travel to find that televangelist preacher that she's seen on the TV.
Okay.
And if she can only meet up with that preacher, he will heal her face, and then she'll be on her way to Hollywood, California. So.
Wow.
So we see that struggle. We see that trauma point when she was hit in the face with the axe in a flashback, and some fantastic stories. But really, Violet, it's a coming of age story that only happens once Violet steps on that bus. She knows very little about life because she hasn't met anybody outside of her tiny little town. And Johnny, as you know, I grew up in Coloma, so this hits home pretty well for me. So until I got on that bus to Ann Arbor, I didn't know much else about anybody other than folks from Benton Harbor or Coloma. Anyway, so she gets on this bus and meets all sorts of people, like some of the people you're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
She meets two servicemen on their way after basic, right, guys? To potentially go to Vietnam or to train for Special Forces Green Beret. And one is black, and Richard is playing Flick, and one is white, and Seamus is playing Monty. And she quickly is just enamored with both of them because she's never met anybody like either one of them, whether they're white or black.
Mm-hmm.
And she quickly kind of falls for both of them. So it's this interesting little love triangle. But I love the juxtaposition, especially in 1964 Civil Rights era South, that she is really mesmerized by the way that she sees a black man treated on this journey, because she's kind of been treated similarly when people see her facial scar. So she's like, oh, I kind of understand the way that you've been treated a little bit. You know, it's not white savior status entirely, but it's interesting. So formerly Monty, the white soldier, is a bit of a womanizer, but he really has a soft spot and kind of falls for Violet until such a time, and I'm not going to give the whole thing away. But you have to come watch, find out who she really ends up with, even though I just kind of gave it away. But anyway, that's pretty much the story. And she gets to Tulsa. She does meet this televangelist preacher, and much like the great and powerful Oz, the man behind the camera, she comes to find out that guy is not able to heal her face, but spoiler alert, and is a bit of a fraud, a televangelist fraud. What a surprise, what a shocker. But it really deals with her and her heavy faith, and having to deal with her faith in Jesus Christ, as well as in society, as well in herself. And it's through composed. It's got no intermission. It's seamless. It goes from scene to scene and like you to like you. And it's all done in about an hour and 45 minutes, which is just exciting to be along that ride. And you, from that first moment you step on the bus, it's a nonstop joyride.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk to some of the amazing cast that's joining us. So which one of you is playing Violet?
I am.
You are, Emily. So tell me a little bit about what's it been like to do this show and go through this, because I know we've chatted before. You've got yourself a pretty busy schedule, but doing this show, I'm excited because you told me a while back you're a singer. I have not seen you sing, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, so we talked back when Miss Fair was going on, right, kind of the height of Blossom time, and life has not really slowed down. In fact, I was originally asked to be a part of the cast back when all that was happening, and I was like, I just don't know if I really have the time. And then things kind of worked out that I was able to be Violet towards the beginning of the summer, and so I've been on this crazy bus ride and just life ride with all these amazing people that I would not have met otherwise. It's been just amazing, especially I'm one of the younger members in the cast, so I really got to learn from a lot of my co-stars, and they're all from, like, Seamus is from Nebraska and Richard is from Indiana, so I've been able to learn a lot from everyone, and it's been a really great opportunity being Violet for sure. I think that I was able to talk to Lauren Ward, who originated Violet on Broadway, and her kind of some of her advice on how to portray Violet is you kind of have to go to your darkest place when you felt the worst about yourself, and then kind of slowly bloom and allow yourself to open up to these characters. So I start out really mean and not very nice. My first line is I'm like super sarcastic, mad at this guy in my hometown. So I'm not the most likable, but you kind of end up falling for her because you feel bad, and she has been through a lot. So yeah, it's a great story, and I'm just super excited to be a part of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Seamus, you're from Nebraska?
So I'm from Houston originally, but I go to school in Nebraska.
Okay.
School. Yeah.
So being in small town Southwest Michigan, this is a different thing for you too, right?
Oh yeah, it's been amazing. I've been here all summer interning, so it has been nothing but a good time. So
that's awesome. Well, looking forward to seeing you in the show as well. What's been your favorite part of doing this?
I think my favorite part was being a part of tech as well, working on building the set and helping with lights and doing all that stuff as well as acting. It's really felt like I'm building this character and this show from the ground up. Emily has been here helping as well. Paige has been here. So it has just been really fun being behind the scenes and on stage at the same time.
Yeah, that's a fun experience to be able to do both those things, and just very fulfilling as well. Cindy, let's talk. What character are you playing in the show?
Lula Buffington. Ooh. I am the belting gospel singer that has that encounter with the televangelist, and I'm a part of a guest choir from Philadelphia, city of brotherly love, and I don't know anything about this pastor, but I do what I do, and I'm just singing for the Lord, and no matter what, that's the goal, that's the objective, and the choir and the energy is phenomenal. Shout out to Houston. It seems I didn't realize you were from Houston. We have to talk. That's my other hometown of 35 years. I literally just came back here, which is where I'm born and raised.
Yeah.
And this is my first musical ever in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And not her last. And not her last.
The last time I performed on a stage in Benton Harbor was, my R&B trio back in the 90s came home for a big concert at the LMC, and so I'm so excited. I was introduced to Paul by some people that I went to school with their parents, and
nice.
It was just like, hey, they need a singer, and Paul reached out, and I'm like, yes, another opening door for me. I get to be home and perform, literally, let's do it.
Yeah, that's a great homecoming for you, and something that I know a lot of people in the community will look forward to just seeing you hanging out and catching up, but also catching you on the stage as well. That's going to be great.
These kids are amazing. I'm one of the senior members of the cast, so these kids are teaching me how to do stage like this. So
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, let's talk to Paige and Richard. First, Richard, your character is you're playing a military guy. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm one of the other military members that Violet meets along her journey on the bus. And without giving it away, but it was hinted at, I'm one of the people that she falls in love with at the end.
Okay. Oh, wow. So what's this experience been like for you?
It's been very fun, honestly. I really love the music of this play. I had never heard of it until the assistant director had reached out to me saying, "Hey, we have a show. We're looking for a flick. Would you be interested?" I listened to the music and I was like, "Yeah, I think I can do that." So it's been a really fun process to go through this journey with all of this cast.
That's
We
awesome.
were also, I wanted to just jump in, Johnny. We were also able to do a Zoom masterclass with a guy named Michael McElroy, who was the original flick on Broadway. Richard, did you want to talk about that for a second? Was that interesting?
Yeah, it was an incredibly informative process, not even just with the information of the show itself, but even as an actor. I'm a young performer. I just recently graduated from Purdue University about a year ago with an acting degree. So it was incredibly useful information to kind of intake about what I should expect as a future performer, especially as a Black performer, and how I can kind of make my mark, as I go through my career.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Not only be able to draw from the exact character that you're also playing, but yeah, for long-term career advice for sure is awesome.
Yeah.
Paige, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're doing with this show.
Ooh,
Keep yourself pretty busy as
okay.
well, right?
Yeah, I've been working as an intern for this summer. It was like a way, I'm from the area, so I grew up in Bridgman. And I've known Paul since I was probably like 10 years old. But I've been able to return home and really focus a lot on the administrative side of the arts. And this show at the end of the season has been such a lovely treat for me to be on stage. So I not only am the young Vi in this show, so during the flashbacks, you'll see the younger version of Violet. That's me. And then I also was able to choreograph, which has been a blast. I'm pursuing a degree in dance right now. So it's been such a treat for me to be able to say, "Hey, Paul, I really want to get my hands on this. I love theater. I love dance." And this show, as much as you may not like, it's not a well-known like dance show. There are some super important moments where like movement is needed to tell this story. My favorite has been like working with our gospel choir for an amazing song called "Raise Me Up." It's been a blast. The energy, people are really in for such a treat and so much spirit from our incredible cast, and I've just been grateful to be able to bring that out through my dance. So yeah.
I love that. I see you're basically dancing right now as you're on the screen, which I wish everybody could see that.
She's good at it. She's good at it.
Yeah, movement is important for sure, even if there aren't choreographed numbers. That is a very important aspect to any musical. Now, of course, we want to see this treat and wonderful thing of a show. Paul, give me the details on what people need to know before they come check this out at the Ghostlight.
We open tomorrow night, Thursday, August 18th, and we run both weekends, 18 through 21, and then again next weekend, Thursday through the 28th. So we have 8 shows, 7:30 p.m. Evening, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and 3 o'clock matinees on Sunday. For reservations, go to ghostlightbh.com and get your tickets now. And I do want to give another shout out to our creative team. Joshua Goins, the King, is our music director. Fantastic orchestra. 7-piece orchestra. Mads Jackson's my assistant director. As you know, Paige is the choreographer. Dan Maxon is currently literally right now setting all the lights and sound. Brooke Hare, our stage manager. Julie Smye, the inestimable Julie Smye on costumes, came all the way back home from Tennessee, excuse me. Her daughter lives in Kentucky. And then Maddie Lee's our assistant stage manager. It's an incredible team, and I'm just so lucky to work with everybody.
Fantastic. Any shout outs to sponsors or anybody else that's involved?
Yeah, we've got sponsors, season sponsors. I'm trying to remember exactly who the sponsors are on this show. I think they're folks, the Mosier family. I think somebody named Alice Mow. I think my mother wrote a check, that kind of thing. So, it's sweet of her. But we can't thank our donors and sponsors enough. You'll see, if you haven't been to Ghostlight since our first season, we have a brand new lights, and we have sound and brand new microphones and seated risers, and those things are not cheap, including our brand new sign out front. So none of that's possible at this here nonprofit without lots of donations, and your ticket sales only go so far. So please support the Ghostlight. So
absolutely,
tickets are $28 for adults, $22 for seniors, and only $12 for students. So we hope people come on out, check it out.
Should be a fantastic performance. It's been a great time chatting with all of you and looking forward to checking out Violet at the Ghostlight. But thank you guys so much for spending some time with me.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.